using a thread library. Okay, so the program is matrix multiplication using threads. So we will include the header files. Those are required to implement a threading program, that is stdio.h for input output, the thread.h for the thread library. Okay, now declare some threads. Let us declare threads as with the help of the thread underscore t, and the name of the threads as tid of, say, take some array of the threads as 10. Okay, so we don't know how many threads we are going to use, so randomly we will ask the user to enter the number of threads. Okay, then next data required is matrix data that will read by using some function. Say, call that function, let us say matrix underscore read. Okay, so this function we will write for reading the values inside the matrix. Okay, after reading the values in the matrix, then we have to multiply the matrix. So for multiplying the matrix, we are going to make use of the threads. So we will write one for loop for, okay, before using this for loop, first read the number of threads. Printf, say, enter number of threads, and scan that value in some variable, say scanf %d comma variable let us declare as number of threads, not. Declare that variable here, or we will declare it globally now in order to avoid the confusion. Integer not. Okay, so we have scanned the number of threads. So how many threads you will create now by using a for loop? Let us declare index variables as int I comma, or we will declare this locally here, int I comma j comma, okay, ij will be sufficient. Okay, for here we are creating the threads. Okay, what is the function used to create the thread? So how many threads we have to create? I equals to 0, I equals to 0, I less than number of threads. So this is a variable, that means that many threads we want to create, and I plus plus. Then write a function thread underscore create is the name of the function. And you might be remembering the parameters that we had discussed in the previous lecture. There are 4 arguments required for the thread underscore create function. First argument is the pointer to the thread variable. First is a pointer to the thread variable. Second is the attributes. So we assign the default attribute there. Next is the name of the function or the routine of the thread. And last is the data passed to that thread function. Okay, so these arguments we are about to give here. So the name of the thread variable is, what is the thread variable name we have given? TID of 10. So what will be variable here? It should be a pointer to a thread variable. So address, here we should provide the address of TID of I. Comma. Next is the arguments. So we always provide the default argument, so null. Then third is the thread function. Okay, so write the thread function as a multiplication, comma. And last is the argument passed to this thread function. So we always pass the arguments as void star type. So void star and I variable here. So this function we have not written, definition we are not written, so it is showing a red color here. So later we will define this function. Okay, so these are the arguments required for create function. First is the address of thread variable. Second is the default arguments or default attributes. Third is the name of the function that thread will execute. And fourth is the data passed to this function. Data passed to this function. and data always is required to be of type per star, and we have declared this integer as sorry I as integer, so we have taken this as I integer. Let me write it as long, because it will create a problem or will give you the warning of converting 4 bytes of data into 8 bytes of data. So hard star is 8 byte and integer is a 4 byte. So that's why it will gives you the warning while you are typecasting the data of hard star into a integer. So that's why I have given here long int. Okay, so warning you can neglect and can execute the program, but for correctness, we have added the long integer. Okay, then next thing that you should join these threads. Why joining is required? That I have demonstrated in the previous lecture. If you don't try to join, then some of the threads may execute, some of the threads will not execute. And what is the name of the function that is used to join? Pthread underscore join. And what are the arguments? First is the name of the thread variable, tid of j, and second is attributes we assign as a none. Okay, so this is your main function. In main function, what we have done, we have called this function matrix underscore read. So we are going to write this function. Then we have read the data as number of threads. Okay, so as many threads we are going to create, that data we are reading here. Then in create function, pthread underscore create function, we have passed the argument as address of thread variable, default parameters, name of the thread function, and data required for the thread function. Then next we have called the join function. So join function will join all the threads that you have created. So if you don't write join function here, then what happens? Some of the threads execute, some of the threads will not execute. That means in order to complete the execution of all the threads that you have created, you always should write the pthread underscore join function. Okay, so is it okay up to this? Okay, now next we have to write the matrix function. So we are defining the matrix function as read, sorry, matrix underscore read, matrix underscore read. Okay, so the error at this place is removed from now because we are reading the matrix here. Okay, so what is required to read the matrix? Can you answer? What data type is required? So we will declare the variables for the matrix here as a global variables, because these variables we are requiring in main function, we are requiring in matrix function, as well as we will require in the threads function. So we'll declare this variables as matrix 1 of size say 10 by 10, comma, matrix 2 of size 10 by 10 again, and one more variable that will store the result. So we'll declare this variable as the result as 10, 10. Okay, along with this data, we will require some the size of the matrix. That means number of rows and number of columns. We will call this as mn. So first data that we will ask the user to enter is printf. Enter size of matrix. You have done these assignments in your second year level. So I'm just repeating the same with respect to a thread. So what will be the scanf value here? %d, sorry, %d, comma, variables address of m, comma, address of n. Okay, now I am reading the common values for both the matrices. Later, when you will implement this assignment, at that time you should read the size of the first matrix as a separate size and size of the second matrix as a separate size. Or Yes. So you can read the size of the both the matrices as separate. Okay, so we will not do that here in this assignment, but later when you will implement the assignment, you should modify your assignment. Okay, then you have to read the matrix values. So here we will ask user to enter matrix 7. Then how you scan the matrix values? By using the for loop. How many for loops? For I equals to 0, I less than m, I plus plus. Let me scan the same loop here. For j equals to 0, j less than m, j plus plus. And this indices variables you should declare local to the variable. You should not declare them as a global because that will make sometimes it will not work correctly. So that's why always try to write the indices variables as a local variables. Okay, then the statement that you will write for scanning the values is scan if. Let me know if I am doing some mistake while writing the program. %d, comma, address of mat1 I and j here. Okay, so is it right? So same we will copy and paste for the second matrix. Only we will change the values here. Matrix 2. This should be changed j less than n. In this loop also, I think you are not paying attention. Otherwise, you would have told this mistake of me. I had written for row as well as column as m. Okay, no problem. And here we should change it to matrix 2. So is it right? Let me check whether Omkar Khaire, Vivek Shedge, Omkar Khaire and Vivek Shedge, you should join the meeting on time. Okay, let me remove this restriction. Okay, so might be it is correct. We will test later. So if you get to know some typing mistake or syntax mistake, please type immediately in the chat box so that yes, here is a mistake. Matrix 2. So that the latter we will have the minimum errors to remove from our program. So here we have scanned two matrices, matrix read function using a matrix read function. Okay, so now one more function we have to write, that is the multiplication. So how you will write a multiplication function? Multiplication function is having the return type as void star. multiplication. And check whether the spelling is correct or not by checking whether the error from here is removed. Okay, so that means our spelling is correct. And it has the one argument void star arg. Okay. Now take this as argument, and first thing that we do in any program is we convert this argument of void star into some integer variable. So long int num equals to typecasting int and name of the variable arg. Okay, because thread number is important to understand. With the thread number, we are going to differentiate the thread. So that's why the thread number is important. So that's why we always try to take that thread number into some local variable, long int num, and integer arg. Okay, now here we have to write the matrix multiplication code. Okay, now let us declare some index variables here. integer I, comma j, comma k. Three variables will be required for matrix multiplication. So let me write comment here, matrix. And you might be knowing how to perform the matrix multiplication. So first for loop for I equals to 0, then I less than number of, sorry, I less than m. M we have declared as a global variable. Yes. So we have declared as a global variable. So there is no problem in accessing that variable for thread function. So whatever the variables that are required in more than one function, you should always write them as a global variable. So is it okay? Let me give the brackets. Brackets are actually not required because we are writing a single for loop here. But in order to understand, we are writing the bracket. J equals to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. Again put the bracket. And one more for loop is required here. And what is that for loop? For loop for k. For k equals to 0. K less than m or k less than n? Less than n. K plus plus. Because k will always try to point to the columns in the matrix. Okay, so for k equals to 0, k less than n, k plus plus. Can anybody tell me how we perform the matrix multiplication? So we have to declare here first the result. We have to declare here first a result variable in which we are going to store the multiplication result of I j equals to 0 here. And here we will write result of I j plus equals to. Okay, so this value we update every time. Okay, so you might be knowing the logic, or let me tell you the logic of this thread. Whether my screen is visible to you? Right, is not responding. Okay. Okay, so you might be knowing the matrix multiplication. For example, say if this is a matrix 1, 2, 3 here, then 4, 5, 6 here, and this one is the matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whether the multiplication in this matrices is possible. So for multiplication, the number of rows we will call as number of rows as R1 here, and or R1 by C1 this matrix, and R2 by C2 this matrix. So for matrix multiplication, the important condition is a matrix multiplication. What is the important condition? This R1 should be equals to C2. Unless this condition satisfies, you will not be able to multiply the matrices. Okay, now how we multiply this matrices? This 1, 2, 3 is multiplied to this column. So this 1 gets multiplied with this 1. So 1 into 1 plus, then what we write? These 2 will get multiplied to this 3. 2 2 into 3 plus, then next this 3 will get multiplied with this 5. 3 into 5. Okay, so what will be this term? 1 into 1. So this will be copied as it is in the matrix. 1 into 1 is 1 plus 6 plus 15. So 15, 6, 21, 22. So this will be your first term that will be calculated. Then in next term, what will you do? You will keep the row as it is and you will multiply this column. 1 into 2, 2 into 4 and 3 into 6. So what is the value? 2 plus 8 plus 18. Maybe 28. Okay, so this is the second value. Then you will change the row and will repeat this step. So next is am I right? You will change this row and then again will repeat this step. And here you will find the matrix, here you will find the matrix value. And so on, this process is continued. So this is what a matrix multiplication is. So what we have to do here, we have to write result of ij plus. Result of ij means this term we are adding in this term, we are adding in this term. So initially we are declaring this term as 0. So let us declare a result as 0. Then what will happen? We will add this result with 1 into 1. Then we will add this result with 2 into 3. So next time result will be 1. Next time this 6 will be added with 1. So it will be 7. Next time this 15 will be added with 7. So next time it will be 22. So you are going on adding this, the multiplication. So that's why we have written here plus equals to. And multiplication, matrix 1 of, what you write here, matrix 1 of the indices that are changing. So indices of ik into the matrix 2 of, now tell me what will be the value here. What indices should be there? Should be here. Ik means k is changing from 0 to number of n, that means number of columns. So what indices you should write here? Let me know in the chat box what indices should be there in matrix 2. Because your first matrix should change from in the first row 1, 2, 3, and your second matrix should change from 1, 3, 5 here. So row index must be changing, column index, row index must be changing, column index must be constant. And in the first matrix, the column index is changing. That means from first column it is going to first column, it is going to second column, then it is going to third column. And the row is remaining the same, that is 1. Okay, but here what is happening? Column is remaining the same, but row is changing. 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. Okay. So what should be the values? Yes, anyone? JK? Okay, in order to understand, let me tell you again what exactly I am wanting to tell you when you are not getting it. Here, what is changing? First index for this loop we have written as I and K. Why we have written I and K? Because I is constant. I is the outer loop. I is the most outer loop, isn't it? So that I will be a constant, and K is the most inner loop. So K is changing. So that's why it is changing from first column, then second column, and third column. And this first index is for row always, and this second index is for column always. Remember this, that first index in matrix is for row, and this index is for a column. Okay, now in second matrix, what should change? Column should change. Column should change. So you have to write these two indices. So here you have to write the index which is changing. So which index is changing? K is changing here, and J is remaining constant. So that's why it should be Kj. Remember this, Kj. For the first matrix, K index should be at the column place, and for the second matrix, K index should be at the row place because for the second matrix rows are changing. First row, second row, third row. So that's why it should be Kj. I hope you are getting this. Is there any error here? Yes. Okay, so that is the advantage of using the IDE. It will immediately tell you the error. I had given this comma, so that's why it was showing the red line here. It is showing, yeah, it is showing the red line here. So if red line means there is some mistake on that line. So you immediately will come to know. Okay, so this one is the code of matrix multiplication. Okay, after printing the, multiplying the matrix, next task you have to do is print the matrices. Okay, so here I will write print matrix, print underscore matrix function. And let me pass the parameter as result. Okay, so that it will print a particular matrix. And here you will write the definition of print matrix function. Definition should be always written at the top where you are calling the function. So this will be a simple definition. What function I have written? Print matrix. So don't make the spelling mistakes. matrix. And I have given one argument to this function as matrix integer. Or we will give the same name, or say give some another name, say x of size m by n, or let us write this size as 10 by 10, generalized size. And what you are here you will do, say print f, or don't print anything. We will simply copy this. Okay, so what you have to do here, scanf %d. So this scanf will change to printf. %d will be as it is, and instead of this, you will write, I had given here, no. Instead of this matrix 2, you will print it as a x. Other things will remain the same, and declare this index variables here, I comma j. Okay, is it okay now? Printf %d comma x of ij, but it should print in the matrix format, so that it will be good to see that whatever the values that you have printed in the matrix format. Otherwise, you will not understand anything. So what should be done to print in the matrix format? You should print each row on. You should print each row on the new line. So /n here. Okay. So it will print each row on the new line, or you should also print a new line at the start, so that it will be more good. And while printing the result also, you should print here one message that which thread is printing this value. So print f. Okay, so I will explain it one more time when we will complete this code. So don't worry if you have joined in between. Printf, what message we want to print here? /n matrix sorry, by thread %d, and here print the value of %d as num. Is it a num? Yes, it is a num. Thread number we are copying in num variable. Okay, so this will print a matrix by thread %d. Okay, so I hope this program will work. Let us check by opening the terminal, say new terminal, and type compilation command gcc. What name I had given to this matrix? mat matrix.c and minus lp thread. Don't forget to add the library at the end, otherwise your program will not execute. Okay, so it is showing, still showing the warning, unsigned long int. Okay, so here we have done some mistake in our program while typecasting in the this program long int. So it should be converted in a long int, not in the int variable. And when you are printing the value, it should be %ld. Okay, so that is the thing we had missed there. So it was showing just the warnings. So advantage of using these kinds of the IDEs that you will make minimum number of syntax errors. So we don't have any syntax errors in this program, even though we have written some 50 to 70 lines of the GCC minus LP dot slash a dot out. Size of matrix 3 rows, 3 columns. Matrix element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Second matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Number of threads, let us take 3 threads. Okay, now this is your output. Matrix thread 0, matrix thread 1 have printed. Okay, so this is not understandable. Let me execute a program again. You will get the similar kind of the output because thread used to execute simultaneously. So that's why their output may get mixed with each other. So that is the problem of the threads. So enter the size of the matrix. Let us consider a size 2 by 2. Matrix 1, 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4. Matrix 2, 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of threads, 3. Okay, so it is printing the result now in a more good manner. Okay, so you are getting the multiplication result correct. The 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. But this program is not correct according to the thread programming. Okay, now you have to tell me why I am saying so. You are getting the matrix multiplication result because 1, 1, 1, 1. Let me show you. The matrices multiplied. What matrices we have taken? 1, 1, 1, 1. Second matrix also we have taken as 1, 1, 1, 1. So let us check the result. This 1 into 1 is 1 plus 1 into 1. This row and this column. So 1 into 1, 1 plus 1 into 1, 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. Then this first row and the second column. So this will be again a 2 here, this will be again 2 here, this will be again 2 here. So result is 2, 2, 2, 2. So still I am saying that the result of matrix is not correct. So what can be the result? Sorry, result of matrix is correct, but the program is not correct according to the thread programming. So can you tell me what can be the? Okay, very fine, very correct. Any other? What is the purpose of threads in a computer, in operating system? Each thread will evaluate some part. Okay, so what will happen if each thread is evaluating some part of the, yeah, so the exactly CPU time is less. That means your computer will be faster. So if your processor, each processor is working on different code at the same time, that means if your program is going to be faster. So that's why we are using the thread here in the matrix multiplication. So if this entry is calculated by one processor, this entry is calculated by another thread, and this entry is calculated by another thread, this entry. doing all the processor will require, or one process will require 4 units of time here in this example. It will require 4 units of time. But if the task is divided among the threads, so this will be executed by T1, this will be executed by T2, this will be executed by T3, this will be executed by T4. So what will happen? Every thread is now running parallelly. So it will require only 1 unit of time, isn't it? So that's why we are making use of the thread. But your program, whatever I have written the program, that is not making use of this thread functionality. Why it is not making use of this thread functionality? Because every thread 0, what it is doing? It is calculating the complete matrix. Thread 1, what it is doing? It is also calculating the complete matrix. Thread 3, what it is doing? It is also calculating the complete matrix. That means every thread is calculating the complete matrix. So this should not be there. This should not be there. We will have to divide the task among n number of threads. As many threads we are creating, we have to divide the task. Okay, so for dividing the task, we will have to write some logic here. Are you getting my point? What I wanted to tell you, that in our program, each thread is calculating or making all the calculations. So this is not use of the threads. It should not make all the calculations. So we should use some formula so that we can divide a task among n number of threads. Okay, so we will. I'm not asking you to go each element level, but at least we will try to divide the task in the row level at least. Okay, so let me write this again. Okay, so you have matrix of size 3 by 3, say 3 by 3 multiplied by 3 by 3, and you have 3 threads. So this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and let me write this as 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1 here. So what we can do here, we can divide. This thread 1 will calculate the first row or the result, whatever is the result. What is the result? 1, 2, 3 into 3 to 1. 3 plus 4 plus 3 is 10. Then 10. Then 10. So this will be the result, I think, if I am not wrong. So at least you should be able to divide that. Thread 1 will calculate the first row, thread 2 will calculate the second row, thread 3 will calculate the third row. This we can do, isn't it? Instead of going at each cell of the matrix, we can at least divide the matrix into number of rows. Okay, so let me try to write this. Okay, only this loop will change. For I equals to 0, let me write this thread number as matrix multiplication here. Num equals to, okay, so here let me write num equals to num plus 1. And here let me write num. Okay, now what will happen if it is a 3 by 3 matrix and if you are creating the 3 threads, then it will, first thread will only execute the first row, second thread will, okay, here also you should write as num, and here should be num plus 1. Let me remove it from here, the complete line. Okay, meaning of this is it will start from num and will end at num plus 1. That means, for example, say thread 1 is having the number as 0, or let me write as T0, T1 and T2. Thread 0 has number as 1, so it will work from 0 to 1. 0 to 1 means this row. Then second thread, which has the number 1, it will work from 1 to 2. Then third thread, which has the number 2, it will work from 2 to 3. Okay, only this change I have made here, that we have divided the task. Okay, now let us try to compile this program again. Do I have saved this program? GCC size of matrix. Let us take 3 by 3. Matrix elements. Just count it as one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number of threads we will take as 3. Okay, now we will observe the change in the output. What happened here? Matrix by thread 0. He has only calculated the first row. Matrix by thread 1. He has calculated the second row, but the thread 0 had already calculated the first row. That's why you are getting the two rows here. But actually, thread 1 is calculating this row only, and thread 2 is calculating this row only, but already both the threads have calculated this, so that's why it is getting the third row. So this should be the output. This is the expected output. Or you may write your own generalized formula here instead of typing from starting from num to num plus 1, because what will happen? Let us take the another example. Okay, so take one more example. If the size of the matrix is 6 by 6, 6 by 6, and number of threads is equals to 3, then what should happen? Thread 1 should start from 0 to 2. Thread 2 should be from 2 to the 4, T0, T1, and thread 2 should execute from 4 to the 6. This should be the division, isn't it? If the size is 6 by 6 and number of threads are 3, then this should be the division among the threads. If size is 5 by 5, then there will be some uneven distribution, but that should also work by using your formula. So let us try to write this formula. We have written this as for I equals to num, I less than num plus 1, where num is the thread number, either 0, 1 or 2, and I plus plus here. Okay, now we have to remove this, we have to change this num and num plus 1 to generalize the formula. Okay, so what can we write here? Let us write two variables. One variable, instead of num, we will write from, and instead of num plus 1, we will write one variable 2. Okay, now how to calculate this num from and 2? How to calculate this from and 2? For example, as I have told you, for 6 by 6, if number of threads are 3, there should be a division of 2. So let me write the formula. From equals to, let us consider num. Num means thread number. Num is a either 0, 1 or 2. Num is indicating the thread number. Num into say m, that means size of the matrix num into m divided by number of threads. Num into m divided by number of threads. Let us check whether this formula is working correctly or not. So if it is a thread 0, for 0th thread, let us consider from value for 0th thread. So 0th thread num into m, that means 0 into m we are taking as 6, divided by number of threads. Number of threads are 3. Let us consider number of threads are 3. So divided by 3. So it will be a 0. Let us consider it for 1. So 1 into 6 divided by 3. So it is equals to 2. So this is a from value and this is a to value. For T1 we are getting the correct value. Then let us consider the thread number as 2. Then what will be 2 into 6 divided by 3? 2 into 6 divided by number of threads. So 3 2s are So it is equals to a 4. That means we are getting a correct value. So from formula is num into m divided by number of threads. Similarly, can you write a formula for 2? What will change for 2? So can I write it like this? Num plus 1 into m divided by number of threads. So let us check the formula for 0. 0 plus 1, 1 into 6 divided by 3 equals to 2. If num is 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2 into 6 divided by 3 equals to 4. And if thread number is 3, thread number is 2. So 2 plus 1, 3 into 6 divided by 3 equals to 6. Okay, so these are the two formulas that we will have to write, for, from and to. Are you getting how we have derived these formulas in order to generalize? If you don't want to generalize, no problem. But for standard programming, you should generalize your program. You should generalize your program. Okay, so let me declare our two variables here. Int from equals to what formula we have written? Num into m divided by number of threads. Do we have taken number of threads as a global variable? Yes, it is a global, so no problem. And int 2 equals to num plus 1 into m divided by number of threads. Okay, so here you should write from, and here you should write 2. Okay, so now let us test our program for 2 by 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, number of threads 2. From is for thread 0, from and 0 are correct. For thread 2, from and 2 are correct. Okay, now let us test for 3 by 3 thread. Enter the size of matrix 3 by 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number of threads, we will take it as a 2 again. So let us check this division. So from, okay, for thread 2, from is 1 and 2 is 3. So it is correct because there will be uneven division. For thread 0, from is equals to 0 and 2 is equals to 1. So it is again correct. Last thread is getting 2 rows and first thread is getting 3 rows. Okay, so let us try for 3 by 3 thread. 3 by 3 enter matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number of threads as 3. So let us again consider the values. For thread 0, 0 from is 0, 2 is 1. For thread 2, from is 1, 2 is 2. And for thread 3, from is 2, 2 is 3. That means our program is working fine. It is accurate. So maybe we have done some mistake in giving the input in the previous program, but these formulas are correct. Okay, so let me once again tell you the program, what we have done in this program from the starting of the program. So first we have declared the thread variables. So we don't know how many threads we are going to read, so that's why we are taking some array of tail variables. Then we are using this function to read the matrix values. Two matrices we have to read for the matrix multiplication. Then number of threads we have read into NOT variable. Then we have created the threads up to NOT. So as many threads that user wants to create, those many threads we are only creating. Function pthread underscore create have 4 parameters: address of thread variable, default arguments, function name, and hot star I. And the join function have thread variable and default arguments. Then next we have written a function for matrix read. So this is a simple function to read the size of the matrix and then scan the values in matrix 1 and matrix 2. Then we have written the print function that is simply printing the matrix value. Then we have written the thread routine for multiplication function. So multiplication thread function always have one argument that we pass, that is of type first star. So our first task is to convert this first star into a integer. So we are converting it into a long int. Why we are not writing the int? Because it will give you the warning that you are converting a 8 byte of data into a 4 byte data. So that's why we are written here long. Then we have used this formulas from and to divide the task of the thread. Then we have written here the thread function. The thread will perform for these many rows only. And what it will perform? It will perform the matrix multiplication. So this is the matrix multiplication code. So I think this will be good for